Let's get it fucking on the bumper. Keep your voice low. Hey, I'm Vision. I'm a rapper, singer, songwriter, and this is my story so far. So I don't clearly remember what drew me to the music industry, but as a kid I remember watching VH1 a lot, and I specifically remember watching the video of Paper Planes by MI and being just mind blown by it, and I was like, oh no shit, I love it. And soon after that my dad bought me this iPod. It was kind of a rip-off, right? And it had like 200 songs pre-installed on it. I listened to it, and it had songs from Akon, Eminem, whatever was popping back then, and I remember feeling kind of hooked into music. As a child, I kind of remember when I was super young, I used to sing songs in family functions. So that was that. So as far as I remember, even up till high school, I was not as much into music as I was today. Like when I was off in high school, I used to do music, but never thought of it as my main thing. Like, this is where I'm gonna earn money from. That's not something that was in my head. But once I joined bachelor's and I got more invested into music, and the more I had to do assignments for IT, the more I had to study for IT, the more I realized shit, this is not something that I want to do. I cannot hold a day job, I cannot do a job. I want to be an artist. The more I did music, the more I realized yo, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and this is what I want to earn. This is where I want to earn from. So that's when I realized yo, I'm gonna take this seriously and I'm gonna make a living off of it. My biggest inspiration is Kanye West. I know he doesn't sit well with a lot of people, but that dude is super amazing. One of the reasons he's one of my biggest inspiration is because his albums, all of them, none of his albums miss. They are all musical masterpieces. If you start from The College Dropout even up till Jesus is King. Jesus is King is a decent album, right? And something that I really learned from Kanye West was when Kanye West started off, he was always about I'm gonna do this. And a lot of people were like, you're not gonna do this because you're just this. For example, when he started off, he was a producer and he wanted to rap, and a lot of people are like, you're not gonna be a rapper, you're a producer, right? You're never gonna be as successful. And it's you know what? No, I know I'm the shit, so I'm gonna prove it. And he actually went on and did that shit. And even with his Yeezy line, when he started off, doing clothing and fashion, everyone was like, you're a rapper, you're just supposed to make merch, you're not supposed to do designing, and he was against the whole corporate. That's where Jesus comes in, his one of my favorite albums from Kanye West. And he went on and created the Yeezy line, and now he's a billionaire. So one of the biggest inspiration that I learned from Kanye West is you can fucking do it if you want to do it. You just gotta believe in it, you gotta have the mind. If you don't believe that you're the shit, then who else will? And that's something I'm gonna carry throughout my life. Some of my other inspirations would be, Travis Scott, Tyler the Creator, and and so on. So, my music recording, it varies from time to time. It depends on the song. For example, when I'm working on a hype song, a pop song or something that's more upbeat, and when I'm working with others, I decide to just come to the studio, work with the boys, and work with whoever I'm working with, and just make a song right there. We have our producers, they produce the beat, and we start writing hooks, and we start creating a song off of that. So that's how it starts when it comes to upbeat songs. But when it comes to stuff that are super personal, I kind of do that alone. It depends, when I'm writing personal songs, I don't want anyone around me. So what I basically do is I talk to Lazy. Sometimes he's like, I want to do a song like this, and I'm like, cool. And sometimes I'm like, I want a vibe like this, and he sends me that type of beats, the instrumentals, Francis or Lazy, both of them. And I listen to it, and if it catches the right vibe, and if I feel it, I start writing on it. And there's always, when it comes to personal songs, there's always a topic, there's always something I want to put out there. There's something I want to talk about, and then I write on it, and then there's this first draft, and then I go back to it more times than I care to admit. And after a while, it gets to a place where I feel like this is good enough, and this is something I want to put out there. And then I start the recording process, and then that's the learning process as well. Once I start recording, once we start mixing, we learn that this could have been sung this way so that it would have sounded better. So for the songs that are like super close to my heart, we just re-record it, remix it until we feel like this is good enough, and we put it out there. So that's my process of making songs. I'd like to still think of myself as an upcoming artist, and I mean, to be super honest, I still haven't made it, I feel like, and the challenges they're super complicated sets of challenges that you face as an upcoming artist. For example, in music, there's this bar where once you cross that bar, there's fame in it, there's money in it, there's like all the stuff that you see from the outside, right? But when you're an upcoming artist, when you haven't made it, and when you have a small fan base or a small deep list of viewers, what happens is like it kind of seems like everyone is against you. For example, your parents are asking, what are you doing? You could have been a software engineer, you could have been this, and there's this whole societal pressure that comes in. But then when you think about the people that try to exploit you as an upcoming artist, there are people that are like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna make you do this and do that, and you're gonna do it all for free, and as an upcoming artist, you just don't realize like, yo shit, I'm being exploited, and that's another set of challenges. And there's this whole another set of challenges where the music industry in itself is not built for struggling artists. For example, if you're a successful artist, there may be means for you to earn not a lot, but a decent amount of money to make a living out of it. But when you are an artist that hasn't succeeded yet, no matter how much effort you put in, there isn't money in it as much as you want it to be. There isn't money to make a living out of it. So that's some of the struggles that I have faced as an upcoming artist. So the thing about my first concert is it was hosted by an NGO. One of the friends that I used to work with had his dad working on that NGO, and he was like, why you guys should perform there? And I was like, okay. We were like, okay, cool, that's a great opportunity. And we went there, and on the day of the concert, we realized that one of the biggest act back then had their set on the same day, on the same concert, and they were called Be It. And I was like, oh my god, they are such huge deals. I don't know if I'll be able to overshadow them. But then again, I'm like super egoistic. I'm like, what? I'm gonna show them why I'm better than them, And everyone there was for them, not for us. We were more like an opening act, right? And I go there, and the concert starts, the performance starts, and my friend sings the hook, right? And my part is on the verse, and he sings the hook, and my part comes on, and I don't clearly remember all of it, but what I remember is like when my part comes in, I go hard, and it just ends. That's what happens to me all the time in stage performance. It just feels like it ends, I feel like I'm there, and it feels like home, to be honest. Like I don't feel performance anxiety. I just feel like, okay, this is my time. Like this is where I gotta go in, and then I go in, and the next thing I can remember is like, okay, the verse is over. I did this, I did that. A lot of times my friends are like, you did that on stage. I'm like, wait, I did that? And it feels amazing. A lot of times I look back at my concert footage and it's like, yo shit, oh wow, that was so much fun. Yeah, and that was my first concert. When I first started my career, or when I first at least started to take myself seriously, take this seriously, I would say like, take your music as seriously as you can get. Like take your music, treat your music like it's supposed to be out there. It's as good as the stuff that have been that are being put out there, And that plays a lot when it comes to reality checks, and when it comes to succeeding in music. Because once you start believing that your music is as good as the music that you hear out there, a lot of people will start believing in that too, And for that, you gotta put the work in, right? You gotta work hard. You gotta put in that extra time to get there. But you make sure that you make songs that you can be proud of, Like I'm super proud of what I dropped recently, so that I can always be like, hey, yo, you need to listen to my stuff. And I feel like that's the confidence that I always needed since the start of my career. And I think that's about it. So my last project was named Good Dreams. It's an EP. If you guys haven't heard it yet, it's on YouTube, Spotify. It's actually really good. I find it good, you know. And you know, the inspiration behind Good Dreams was there's this thing that goes on between, you know, me and my friends, and we talk about this law of attraction, you know. And what we say is like we attract whatever we write or, you know, create on our creative works. And that's when Caesar comes to me and is like, you know, I'm gonna write about success because I want to be successful, and I know law of attraction is gonna get me that. I don't exactly believe in that, but I could relate to that when I wrote Good Dreams, because the reason it's called Good Dreams is because when I wrote that album, I was in kind of a limbo, but in a comfortable place. You know, my relationship was going to shit, to be honest, but you know, I was writing about it when I wrote Autumn, or you know, when I wrote Pretty Girls. You know, these are songs where I talk about, you know, my insecurities, where I talk about, you know, things are not going right, things are, you know, kind of, I don't know, things are not as good as they could be. And I feel like that's the inspiration behind Good Dreams, you know, like subconsciously I felt like I kind of knew what was coming, you know, when I wrote Pretty Girls. And there's always this happier note to it, because that's what I feel like is the subtlety to Good Dreams, you know. Like I wrote about me being insecure about her going with someone that's better than me, but it's not in a serious note, it's more of a happy tone, you know. You know what, you're gonna leave me someday, that's the note I wanted to go with. But that's what Good Dreams is. It's a set of confusing, you know. It's just me being in this limbo where, you know, things may not be as good as it sounds, or you know, things may not be good at all. But what I felt like was like, yo, this is a phase, and at the end of the day, we're good. At the end of the day, I'm gonna make it. Or at the end of the day, we're gonna fix things when it comes to the relationship. And when I think about, you know, where I want to take my career next is, first of all, I just want to complete Good Dreams, you know. Even though it's out, I still have videos to release. I'm gonna release a couple of videos, and then maybe do a couple of singles, because, you know, I just want to feel it out, you know. I just want to know where I want to go next, because I kind of had this short EP planned out, but then again, you know, I'm not exactly feeling that EP right now. So, you know, next up I may just do a couple singles, and we have this collaborative project of the whole, you know, Lemon Stand Boys coming up, and then maybe an EP. But it all depends. If I'm gonna write a song about you know, breakup or moving on and all that stuff, I want to be a better songwriter. I want to express it better. I want the music to be better in quality. The whole thing surrounding hip hop or rap, at least in Nepalese community, is like, you know, we're like vulgar people, or we do drugs, or we're like bigreko bacha and all that stuff, you know. And that really doesn't sit right with me, to be honest. Like it's like, you know, when you watch movies and there are like bad cops, and you know, there's murder, and there's, you know, violence, there's nudity, and you know, when it's out there in the movie, our parents go and watch that shit, right? You know, at least the older generation, they're like, you know, okay, it was a good movie, or it was a bad movie, or whatever, you know. But I never feel like the focus of the topic for the older generation, or at least for the society, comes from the fact that, oh no shit, you remember, like, that movie had that fight scene in it, or that movie had that scene where the hero goes and fights the cops in it, you know? Like, that's not a controversial topic when it comes to movies, but that's the same distinction that people cannot make when it comes to music. And it's for the better and for the worse, you know. Sometimes music can be treated as, you know, it's a part of reality. I feel like it's a reality show where, you know, everything that I do or write is kind of my life, and where people can feel like this is a real person talking about these real things. But sometimes music can be a way of expressing things. Not everything that everyone says or does in their music should be, you know, pointed out as like, this is exactly what this person is. And going back to Kanye, like, when he starts off his album Yay with, you know, today I think about killing you, contemplated, premeditated murder, that's where people have got to draw the line. People cannot just be like, you know what, this person has murderous intent in his mind, and he should be treated as, he should be put under watch. That's where people should draw the line and feel like, you know what, that's his way of expressing his himself. That's his way of, expressing his art. That's an art form, and he's putting it out there. You don't necessarily need to feel like, you know what, he premeditated murder, or he could be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the distinction people have got to make between the artist and the art when it comes to music. See, it's kind of weird because it depends. If you want to start music as a hobby, I'd say just do it. Like, if you just want to feel it or just want to put it out there, don't have any expectation, just put it out there. Don't care what people think about you. Just do it because you want to do it, not for people but for yourself. And if things go right, you'll be surprised, and it'll be like a very happy outcome, and you'll be it'll be super great to know that. But if you're planning on taking it seriously and you want to make this your priority or the main thing, I'll say have a thick skin, get ready to battle, because as artists, even in Nepal or outside, we are working on a system that's working against us. If you look into the whole masters thing that's going on against the label, that has been going on for so long. I don't know if you guys know this yet, but when you sign to a label, the label owns your master. That means the label owns the music that you produce. And if you look into the Taylor Swift's case, the label literally sold her masters without needing or asking for her consent to Scooter Braun. You know what I'm saying? And that later on stopped her from performing her songs at an award show. I think you can go and look it up. So that's the battle that we're fighting as an artist. So if you're gonna take it seriously, I'll say get ready for war, because we as an artist need to change whatever's going on right now. So if you want to start right now, and if you want to take it seriously, work on yourself, focus on yourself, focus on your art, and don't believe or don't rely on anyone but yourself. Because while you're starting off, and if you start relying on too many people, your career will start relying on them. So make sure you're at a position where you can make changes that you want to make by yourself or with the people that you really trust. And once you get there, let's go all out, bro. I'm always here for artists if I can help, or once I get to a place where I can help. But that's the thing. When it comes to legacy, I always think about, when it comes to the end, I think about the legacy. When you think about me doing, after me having done everything, that vision has done everything that this vision wanted. And this is what I talk about, what I actually wanted to do. And that would be, succeeding in music career, like actually succeeding, not just in Nepal, even outside. Like, I want people to know me. I want people to know me as a creative, not just as a musician. I want people to know me as someone that goes beyond music, that wants to work beyond music, and show people that I'm really something. And once that's done, I want to move into making short films, series. I really want to do this anime. I have this idea, but it's gonna take a lot of years, and I really want to get there. I want to make sure that this side, the music side, is good before I venture there. So the legacy at the end of the day, I would want it to be me having done music and succeeded on it, and partly succeeded in the movie or the videography field, I guess. And that's about it. That's all I want, really. Before I go, I want to say thank you to people that have known me right now, because you guys would be my day one once I really blow up, And I really plan on blowing up. See, one of my most stubborn thing about me is like, I know I'm gonna blow up because I'm not gonna give up until I do, And no matter how long it takes. So to the people that have known me since Good Dreams, or to the people that have really known me since For Lisa, you guys really are my day ones, and thank you for being here. Thank you for really sharing my music to people and just sending me messages saying, yo, you need so much more views, you deserve so much more views, you deserve to blow up. That means a lot to me, because that's the reason I feel comfortable, When I'm going to sleep, I feel like, yo, these people feel like I should blow up, and that's what I feel. So maybe whatever I'm feeling is not delusional. Maybe it's real. Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I'm gonna make it. So thank you so much.